My name is Sarah Mulkoff, and I hail from the state of Michigan, where I've lived my entire life, and I work out of the Great Lakes office, also for the National Wildlife Federation, and with a network called REAMP, collectively working on energy and climate campaigns. And I carry a strong identity with where I come from. A place trademarked by its precious natural resources, like the cleanest and freshest Great Lakes beaches, pristine forests, and ripe agricultural land. It's also the home to fresh and locally grown cherry pies and peach cobblers, and family pastimes that summer is never forgotten. And as part of my outdoor heritage in enjoying the state and marked by dirt under my fingernails, I continue to I invest considerable time into the land and tending to my homestead-style garden plot at my house and 2 community garden plots in the neighborhood, as well as helping out my boyfriend's 4-acre farm in the city of Detroit. And in addition, I volunteer at our community food bank, the Greater Lansing Food Bank, which currently covers the 3 counties in the center of the state, Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton County, on food distribution programs, food gather programs, and various gardening programs. And one of those, entitled the Garden Project, has a gleaning program, which rescues excess edible produce and crops from Michigan State universities and the area farmers' excess crop, and distributes to a vast network of recipients throughout the Greater Lansing area. And many of those include traditional Michigan crops, such as apple, peaches, cherries, and other berry fruit trees. And this year, as others have mentioned, extreme weather has hit more severely than ever before, and Michigan crops are severely adversely affected. While the Gleaners program I just mentioned usually collects 250 to 350,000 pounds of produce from the Tri-County area, this season that'll be diminished to 150,000 pounds. That's half as much as they're able to collect in excess produce, meaning thousands of people less served. And the string of weather events, including the unseasonably warm winter in March, switching drastically to a late April freeze, wiped out significant source of Michigan's fruit crop. And once fruit trees started to come out of their dormancy with the warmer winter, jump-started in March, and they prematurely bloomed. And with overnight freezes late into April, the vulnerability at such a young age stunted the rest of their development and ability to bear fruit later in the summer. The lack of crop inevitably will have tremendous impacts on farmers' business, markets, and work throughout the remainder of the season. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, damage of extreme weather events are accounting for $223.5 million lost, with highest declines pointing to 90% apple, 90% sweet cherry, and 95% peach loss. And the loss of fruit trees and bizarre weather impacts are not just an anomaly this year. The warmer and wetter weather this year emphasizes that there are increased levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and it will continue to exacerbate if not adequately addressed. Cumulative impacts of climate change causing air pollution, specifically those released from coal-burning smokestacks, are going to continue to result in higher average temperatures in cases of extreme weather, thus continuing to adversely affect our agriculture. And the proposed new standard, the new source pollution standard, takes an important step to alleviate these concerns for the future. I strongly support this as a measure to ensure the power plants must reduce their carbon pollution by using sound and advanced technology. This proven process will provide assurance to the carbon limits that will not have an adverse effect on our economy. It is critical that the EPA commits to finalize and publish the carbon rule this year, and it is equally important that the EPA takes additional steps to tackle emissions from existing coal-fired power plants to continue to decrease the nation's greenhouse gas emissions. These steps will ensure that important decisions on clean air are set in place, preventing future harmful impacts. Earlier this month, we planted 100 fruit trees at the farm in Detroit, including apple, pear, cherry, pawpaw, and chestnuts. And while fortunately we missed the blight that affected the aforementioned trees in earlier spring, I see this orchard and their early blossoms, apple blossoms are starting to come out, as symbolic towards the future. As long as the EPA makes the right decisions today to set strong standards on air pollution and finalizes the rule this year, I can rest assured that the trees will have a healthy atmosphere to grow strong into the future, and will have ample we'll be able to harvest ample pecks of produce for decades to come. And thank you for hearing my comments.